holy. We are holy, holy, holy.
Good morning. How are we doing today? Stand if you're able. Yeah.
In honor of the God in each other. Woo!
So, good morning. But I wanted to say, before we greet each other, I just want to let's be aware that there may be some people who may not feel comfortable hugging. There may be some people, especially with maybe the new strain of COVID that's going around, just be aware. And if you don't want to be hugged, just maybe let people know that as we greet each other, that you just like to bow and recognize each other. But if you want to hug, just open your arms and hugs. Okay, so let's greet each other.
We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love.
Good morning. We come together in the name of love. I realized this morning, I usually get up here and I say, welcome to CSL Parker, but I realized that you are CSL Parker. So welcome. Thank you for sharing your light and your energy and your love and coming together in this place and time this morning to create this loving field of energy that is CSL Parker. And thank you for sharing your light with us this morning. So glad you're here. I have a few things I want to make you aware of before we get going. Some of you had the wonderful experience with magic yesterday. I heard that was a fabulous experience. Pam did tell me today that the next 2 sessions that have been planned are already full. However, she is willing to talk to you about the possibility of maybe scheduling another one. So Pam, right here, if you're interested, stand up, Pam. If you'd like to experience the miracle of magic, the miracle of the horse, please see Pam afterwards and she will maybe plan another one. The class Beyond Limits begins a week, not this coming week, but the week after. It is a foundational class for Centers for Spiritual Living. I will be facilitating that along with Shirley Luong, is that how you say her last name? She is a practitioner, and she will be co-facilitating that with me. It's on Zoom. It's from 6:30 to 8:30 on Wednesdays. So if you'd like to be a part of that, please go on to our website, cslparker.org, and register there. Looking forward to having you with us at that class. I want to remind you that we have a prayer box which sits as you leave, on the table as you leave. So if you have a prayer request, there are prayer request forms out there. So if you'd like to have prayer for any particular person, situation, for yourself, whether that's for something some challenge you might be experiencing or some joy that you also might be experiencing, we'd love to hold that with you. So please stop by the table, and I'm going to leave this here. Thank you, Dr. Vern. And if I haven't met you yet, I just realized I didn't tell you who I am. I'm David Howard. I'm the minister here. If I haven't met you yet, I hope to meet you after service. What did I say? Well, we talked about that. October 1st, you may have seen in our newsletter a save the date request. What is happening October 1st is that we're having a special service that day, and we'd love to have all of you present for that. It's going to be a service where we are honoring our practitioners. We're going to be honoring our board for their service and volunteer, and we're going to be honoring me as your newly installed minister. So it's going to be a nice service. We'll have food afterwards, so it will be catered. So we really like to know if you plan to attend, how many will be planning to attend, so that Rainey and Janice, there you are, in the back. They're the back row Baptists today. So they'll know how much food to order. So please let us know about that. There will be sign-up sheets, and there will be a form on the website for you to RSVP. Jeanette has told me about that. So I think that's all I have to share, but I would like to invite Wayne up. He has a special event coming up that he'd like to invite you all to.
Is this on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have the great honor to interview Brandon Chapman, the COO of the Recording Academy. The Recording Academy, if you don't know, is the organization that puts on the Grammy Awards, produces the Grammy Awards. And this will be on September 18th, which is a Monday, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's at the Columbine United Church, which is directly across the street from the entrance to the Columbine Country Club. I don't know the address, so you'll have to look it up. Just look up Columbine United Church. But it'll be really exciting. It's a 2-hour program. I'll be interviewing him, and he'll have so many stories to tell about the Grammy Awards, about all the wonderful musicians and recording artists. If you're into the the backstories, maybe there won't be any dirt discussed about the recording artist. That's off limits. So if you're a reporter for the Enquirer, don't plan to show up, because there won't be anything for you. But anyway, it'll be an exciting event. It's free. So just show up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and listen to what he has to say.
September 18th, Monday. Thank you, Wayne. That sounds like a fun event. I did neglect to remind you that we do have practitioners here today. You see people walking around with these white stoles on. They are practitioners, and they would love to be with you in prayer. So if you have a prayer request, please just go up to one of them and ask for prayer, and they will take you back in the back or somewhere in private so you can have a private conversation in prayer with them. So speaking of practitioners, our practitioner for today is Luann, and she's going to come up and share a reading with us.
Thank you. Good morning. Last week we were reminded that we are each the face of God. The face of God. Therefore we are love. So how important is it for us to love ourselves? Here's what Buddha says. You can search throughout the entire universe for someone who is more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself. And that person is not to be found anywhere. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and your affection. And Ernest Holmes, our founder, affirms, love is at the very center of our being, and the calm, continuous pulsations of life are governed by love. Place your hand on your heart. Today, I remember that I am immersed in love. I feel love as a stream of light, bringing peace and joy to every area of my life, healing every condition and bringing harmony to my experience. For love is the central flame of the universe, the very fire itself. And so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see that there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, well, I can hear Spirit, my God, say, there is only love, only love. There is only love, 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 oh, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love, only love.
So I invite you to stop, settle in, take a conscious breath. Feel your feet against the floor. Breathe deeply, allowing your awareness to move from your head down into your heart. As you breathe into that heart space, I invite you to awaken to love. The presence of that fire, that flame of love, that creative life force energy that is love, that loved itself into being as you, loved itself so much that it loved you into being so that you could be here in this time and space to be the expression of that love. To feel that love, to experience that love, to share that love, to expand that energy of love into this dimension. So breathe into that awareness. And if anything comes into your thought that would deny that would argue with that, I invite you to imagine just surrendering those thoughts and that energy into the fire of love, knowing that love heals and harmonizes and transmutes anything unlike itself. And you know right here and now that you are a radiating center of that unconditional divine energy of love. Pure love. And as we come together in that awareness, we co-create this resonant field, this resonant energy of pure, unconditional, divine love. And so I invite you to see it now. See for yourself this field of love. You may see it as a radiant energy, pink energy, red energy, however you imagine it. It's this beautiful vortex. And into this field of loving energy, and we want to invite you to call to mind and heart anyone, any situation, anything that might be on your heart that you would like to bring into this field of love. And I invite us to speak those names and situations aloud today. Just speaking them so that we all hold that together in this energy of love, knowing again that love heals, harmonizes, attracts unto itself that which is like itself. And so let us begin. Speak the name aloud, if you will. And so what we know together is that each person, each situation is imbued with that divine love, that life that is intelligent life, that life that is perfect life, that life that is whole and complete. And so we see the spiritual truth, the divine truth of every person, every situation, and we see that perfection shining forth, that life expressing itself in its perfection. We know the truth. We hold that truth. We claim that truth together. And we are grateful for our willingness to know that truth, to share that truth for ourselves and for each other. And as we know that it is so, let us claim together, and so it is. Thank you.
There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love right here, right now. There is only love, 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 oh, love that heals, and this love sets us free. There is only love. One, two, three, four. What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? If I believed, would the wind always fill up my sail? How far could I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread, and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? Oh, if I were brave. What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you do if you knew you could have anything? What would you do? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, are there miracles in you and me? Oh, miracles. If I were brave, I walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread, and never lose faith, oh, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, would the voice of courage whisper in my ear? If I were brave, I walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread, and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? Oh, what would I do today if I were brave? What would I do if I were brave? What would I do? What would I do today if I were brave? Say hi to John and Harry and Alan, the CSL Parker Band today. Thank you.
All right. This gets better and better. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for that. So, just remind you that the CSL Global theme for this year is Living Out Loud. And the theme for this month is Loving Out Loud. And the theme for today is I love myself so much. I love myself so much. How many of you have heard that you can't really love somebody else until you love yourself? I don't like that, do you? How many of you have heard that how you love yourself is how you love everything? Yeah, that kind of sucks, don't it? You know, I've heard that. So here's the thing. Just love yourself. Just love yourself. Okay, I'm done. I've always thought that's kind of interesting, that we're always told, just love yourself. It's kind of like that old Nike commercial, just do it. But nobody ever really says how. Nobody, I don't think we're taught that. I don't think we're practiced at that. Is anybody, I won't ask you to raise your hand, but I don't remember being taught how to love myself. And I don't remember having that modeled to me, really. I mean, if you did, I celebrate that with you. But I'm guessing that I'm not alone in that. I'm guessing that a lot of us weren't taught how to love ourselves, or really why it is so important to love ourselves. So I took that in this week. I really was like, okay, Spirit, what does it really mean to love myself? How do I really love myself? And why am I not loving myself if I'm not loving myself? What am I doing instead of loving myself? And what I got was, and the song was so perfect because the first song we sang, especially because what Spirit said to me was, you love yourself to set yourself free. You love yourself in order to set your authentic self free to really love and express and love out loud. Because if I am, and I'm just going to be really authentic and vulnerable with you today because I struggle with this. I do. And what it came to me was that, what is it that I'm doing instead? What is it that's blocking that? And what's the opposite of love, everyone? Fear. It's fear. What am I afraid of? Well, what came to me was that, how do I love myself? How do I really love myself? And Jay and I were on a walk earlier this week, and I said, Jay, when I say that to you, what comes to you? What comes up for you when I say, how do I love myself? And one of the things that came to me, and he said, was acceptance. To accept myself just right here, right now, all of me, who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, all of me right here, right now, in this moment. Acceptance. Why don't I completely love and accept myself right where I am today? Why am I judging myself? And I had to laugh at myself because what came to me was, you're judging yourself before somebody else has an opportunity to do it. Yeah, I beat him to it. I judge myself. I make myself small. I judge what I'm doing, who I am. I'm not doing enough. It's that idea of not enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not educated enough. I'm not enough in some way. I noticed that the other day in my work. Some of you know I have a job in the insurance business, and I work for this company that's a bunch of young people. I mean, it's a bunch of young people. I am the old guy there. I don't like that. But I notice that I'm judging myself because I'm the older person there. And what I notice is that I make jokes about being the oldest person there because I want to get ahead of them judging me for being the old person there. What the hell is that about? You know what I mean? They don't love you. I mean, it's like, I'm not enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not involved enough, whatever that is. So the practice is to accept where I am, who I am, what's going on in me right now. And so I have, if any of you are doing any of that, and I hope you're not, I have this power word that I want to give you. And your power love word for accepting yourself, if you're finding yourself judging yourself, is enough. Enough. If you notice yourself judging yourself, just be willing to say, enough. I'm not doing that anymore. I know it's easy to say. It's not always easy to do. But take that in. Enough. Enough of that. I've had enough. I've had enough of judging myself. It's fear. I've had enough. And enough. I am enough. I am enough. I have enough. I am enough. And enough of that crap. Right? Enough. Accept myself right where I am. Love is that, I kind of got into that place of, we hear about this non-judgment. And to me, that's like, okay, I like that Buddhist practice of non-judgment, but what is a positive spin on that? It's acceptance. Accepting myself. So, again, I hope you're not doing that, but if you are, I invite you to use that word, enough, enough. I'm enough. Another piece of that to me is allowing. How many of you have heard, this was new to me just recently, FOMO? FOMO, F-O-M-O? Fear of missing out. Anybody ever heard that? I have a fear of missing out. I had not heard that before. I mean, I felt it, but I never heard FOMO before. So I thought about that, fear of missing out. But for me, it's more about, there's some fear of missing out. There's some fear of having made mistakes. Fear of having really messed up my life by making mistakes. Or I should have done. Anybody get into that shoulding on yourself? Right? We've all heard that. Stop shoulding on yourself. I should do this, or I shouldn't have done that, or whatever that might be. I think it's pretty common for us. I should have done that. What comes up for me, again, I'm telling on myself today, but I'm thinking about this for myself. How am I not loving myself? And I think I do a lot of shoulding on myself. And was really big for me recently is I'm shoulding on myself for not, I'm shoulding on myself because I'm telling myself I should have a house. I should have bought a house when we moved here, which we didn't. I shouldn't have sold the house that we had in Texas because I should. And I have that regret. I should have. I was reading this book that actually Jay gave me. I've forgotten the name of it now. Victoria Price wrote it, and she's the daughter of Vincent Price. And anyway, I think she's a New Thought person. It doesn't say that in the book, but I'm pretty sure she's a New Thought person. And what she said just really hit me in one of the chapters. She said, turn should to good. Turn should to good. And what I take from that is, when I start shoulding on myself about something, it's time for me to stop and give myself some empathy and compassion. Because what I know at the depth of my being, when I'm connected in my heart, and that's what it is. It's like the head does all the shoulding. The heart doesn't do that. Love doesn't do that. Love says, sweetheart, don't you know that you are God in drag? Right? We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Don't you know you are love? And don't you know that every decision that you have made, you made with the best information you had, you made in order to meet a need, you made in order to fulfill some desire that was very alive in you at the moment. You moved to Colorado because you felt the call to ministry here, that you were serving that call, that deep desire. That when I made those decisions that I made 15, how many years ago was it? 10 years ago. I was making from the best information I had, and I believe I was making it from my heart. So can we connect with our hearts when we start shooting on ourselves and give ourselves some empathy? Empathy for, oh, sweetheart. And be willing to just allow everything to be just as it is. Just as it is. You know, Byron Katie talks about loving what is. Loving what is. Just loving whatever shows up. And what I want to say about that is, it doesn't mean that we don't want things to be different, or that we might not want to change something, or that somehow at some point we might do something different. But when we can come home to love, come home to our hearts, and be with empathy and compassion rather than shoulding, we can call it good and love it. That has so much more meaning for me now than it ever has before. I heard that when I got into New Thought so often. Well, just call it good. Well, damn it, it's not always good. It's not always good. It doesn't always feel good. But can I find some good and love it in the moment? Because it's in that place of love and calling it good, even though I may not be able to see it, that I can feel connected in my heart, connected to love, and take the next step from love rather than from fear. Because if I'm in fear, in judgment, whatever I do is only going to create more fear. Is only going to create from that place I was in before. Make sense? So it doesn't mean we don't want things to be different. It doesn't mean we're not going to take steps to change. But we take the step from a place of love. Loving ourselves. So call it good. Go from should to good. Yeah? And the next piece that really came to me was appreciation. You know, I'm thinking about that. I just realized today, actually, as I was thinking about it, there are five A's, if that helps. 5 A's. Being your authentic self. Acceptance, allowing everything to be just like it is. Appreciation. Appreciation. I'm not talking about appreciation for things. It's wonderful to have appreciation for things, for the sun, for the flowers, for the earth, for everything that connects us with appreciation, gratitude. What I'm really talking about today is appreciation for you, for yourself. I know Even though I don't know everybody that well, I don't know your lives that well, but I know, I would be willing to bet that everybody here has experienced some loss, experienced some pain, probably experienced some level of trauma in your life, whether you would identify it as that or not. And guess what? You are here. You have survived. You have thrived. You have made it to this point in your life. Appreciate yourself for that. You know, I thought about that when I'm using my maps on my phone and I get to where I'm going and the voice says, "You have arrived." You have arrived. So I want to remind you of that today. You have arrived right here, right now, through everything you've been through. All the pain, all the hurt, all the loss, all that you have been through, but you are here. Celebrate that. Appreciate that for yourself. I want you to use that phrase this week as well. Just say, "I have arrived." Again, it doesn't mean that you're not going to go somewhere else. It doesn't mean this is the final destination, but it means that I am here now. I have survived. I have thrived. I am here in this moment, and this moment is filled with wonder and beauty and love and mystery and magic and everything that I can possibly imagine, and I appreciate me right here, right now, in this moment, being exactly who I am. Can you do that? You willing to practice that? And then the final A, the fifth A, remind you that you're being your authentic self, you're accepting yourself, allowing everything just as it is to be, and loving it, appreciating yourself, and then being aware, practicing the presence, being in love as you move about your day, because if you're like me, sometimes I just get into the routine of the day. I can just start getting into old patterns of judging myself, of shooting on myself, criticizing myself, not appreciating myself. I don't know if you do that or not, but I'm sharing with you that I do at times. Just get into old patterns. And so it's important for us to practice awareness, to stop, invite awareness, go into our hearts, become the witness, not the judging witness. You know, and I just realized that. When we talk about being the silent witness, we often do this, don't we? How about if we do this instead? How about if instead of witnessing our lives from our heads, from our thinking, we stop and witness our lives from our hearts? Become the witnesser through love. And witness, be aware of when you start judging yourself. And see if you can come back home to love. Be aware of when the mind starts going, well, you should do this, you shouldn't have done that. And just say enough. Come back home to love. Witness. And share that love with yourself. There are plenty of people out there that are going to do the judging for you. You don't need to be doing it for yourself. Yeah. But again, just love yourself. And again, it's so habitual, I think, for me, and And I don't want to project this onto you, but it's so habitual for me when I judge myself, when I'm not accepting myself, when I'm shooting on myself, then to judge myself for shooting on myself. Yeah? And that's all up here in the head. But I invite us to move into our hearts and really use those. I think it's so important. As I'm thinking about this right now, I like that idea of that when you breathe in, it's the breath is coming home to my heart, and being the observer, the witness from my heart of my life. What's going on in my head? What's going on? Am I judging? Am I shooting? Am I criticizing myself? And be in that place of appreciation. With all of that going on, I have arrived. I have arrived right here. Do I want to continue to grow? Do I want to continue to expand? Do I want to continue to do different things in my life? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Spirit is always urging us forward. But again, can we do that from a place of love? Loving ourselves is so important. Because do you see how that fear can block the expression of our true self, our authentic self? So love frees us. Love heals the fear, dissipates the fear. When we come to it with love. I heard the book, I've forgotten his name. Love is Letting Go of Fear. Who wrote that book? Jampolsky. Love is Letting Go of Fear. And I thought a lot about that title this week, and what came to me really is that when we love, when we bring love to whatever fear is going on, that fear really is revealed as nothing. It's really nothing. So we don't have to let go of fear. We bring love to it, and fear just sort of lets go of us. Does that make sense? So we recognize that fear is showing up. We go into our hearts. We extend that love, and then fear just sets us free. To be who we truly are here to be. Love. Love. There is only love. Love that heals. Love that sets us free. There is only love. So let's take that in. Take a moment to truly begin. Just breathe into your heart. A space of love, and allow love to speak its truth to you. You are enough. Right where you are, right here and now, you are enough. Allow love to speak its truth to you that it is good. All is well. It is well with my soul in this moment. It is good. Breathe into that place of appreciation for yourself. Hear the love saying to you, you have arrived right where you are. Celebrate yourself, your strength, your resilience, your willingness to keep going, to showing up for your life and for others. And allow love to be that with which you focus, which you see your life and see all others. Allow that love to be the lens through which you view your life. Breathe that energy down into the bottom of your feet as you allow love to ground you in this now moment. Allow love to radiate into your head, out through the tips of your fingers, the palms of your hands, and just know and claim that you are love made manifest right here and right now. That love loved itself into being as you. Love gave to the world the love that you are, so that the world through that love might be uplifted, might be redeemed, might be enlightened. Claim it, allow it, ground it, be it. And make a choice this week to love yourself. Accept who you are, to allow everything to be, appreciate yourself.
So sacred, so precious, so secret, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. And I will share, I will share, I will share, I will share, and I am sharing this love, so sacred. This love is so precious, this love.
So sacred, so precious. You are the sacred heart of God. And you are a precious and holy gift to the world. You are a precious and holy gift to yourself. As you claim it, as you allow it, as you be it, so be it. And so it is. Breathing. So now is a time in our service where we do have the opportunity to express that love in a way as we support this ministry through our gifts, our offerings. So take what you're going to share, and I know many of you share electronically, recurringly, so hold that in your heart as well as you give from your heart, giving from love to love. We take this opportunity to know that we are divine love expressing. Through our gifts, our offerings today, we imbue them with love and light, and we know that they go to serve with love. We are blessed in the giving, and we are blessed in the receiving. And let us stay together, and so it is.
Just when I take a step outside, the rain, it catches me with no warning. Right before liftoff, what was once light and airy can't catch my breath, poor sweet canary, for the weight on my body. Take me, climb inside. Bring me to a new divide, and I will grow to know a better me. And this time I will lift off and fly. I will lift off and fly high. Just when I take a step outside, all around I see the empty spaces. No matter how many times on this flight I can barely get the height now. I wanna soar with clean traces. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside. Bring me to a new divide, and I will grow to know a better me, a better me. And this time I will lift off and fly high. I will lift off and fly high. Me and the time we make quite a pair, and it's a solo flight with the wind in my hair. And there's a quiet line between me and the air, and I like it here, yeah. Well, I like it here. Ooh, oh, yeah. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside. Bring me to a new divide. Oh, break me, take me, climb inside. Bring me to a new divide, and I will grow to know a better me, a better me. Oh, this time I will lift off
Am I on? I'm on. So let's all stand if you're willing and able to do that, and let's take that deep breath. Feel the love moving through you, in you, as we come together as CSO Parker to receive, to bless, to give thanks for these gifts this morning. We know that they are given in love. We know that we are all blessed in love as we express that in so many ways. We are grateful. We are blessed. And let us declare together, and so it is. One thing,
Bless it all.
just want to remind you of one thing, or tell you one thing. Next week we have special guests coming. That's J.D. Martin and Jen Garrett will be our guest musicians and presenters next week. If you haven't experienced them, if you haven't heard them, they've been in New Thought musicians and speakers and presenters many years, and invite you to come and experience them. I know you will enjoy it. You'll be blessed by that. So look forward to seeing you next week. Now,
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, oh blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and we say